Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games today into the biggest and the best. Gary Grigsby's War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. This is our Let's Play against the devilish Mr. Lodrick, and it is now March 21st, 1942. This is the setup phase. We're going to look through the stats and check out some interesting places around the map. This time, you can see all of the activity happening around Pearl Harbor, as it always does. Things coming in, things going out. Okay, let's jump into the stats, and then we'll go look around the map. Info, intelligence. Well, it says I always say info. It's actually the intelligence screen. Sorties, we ran 5981. The Japanese ran 7,874. You can see he's now run 411,000 sorties in the campaign so far. Neither side took any air-to-air losses, but we did have 25 planes destroyed on the field. You know I hate that. We'll go check that out. Destroyed by flak, the Japanese had 3 operational losses. We took 1, the Japanese took 3 there. Right now, he is looking at a major victory if things stayed the same. Now, spoiler alert, in the Pacific, they seldom do as the Allies get more and more equipment. Political points, we've got 177. We're continuing to take penalties for the Joseph T. Dickman, which is a transport out in, well, at this point, who knows where the hell it is. It's out of Cape Town right now. We got to get a hold of that ship and get it off the map. Japanese score 17,131. Allied score 7743. We're trying to avoid a 4-1 before 19 or during 1943 at any time. Okay, base is controlled. You can see it's now 434 to 404, and the Japanese will surge into the lead here at some point in the next month or so. Allied aircraft points lost 1216. Japanese 722. The Army points lost 7485 to 174. Ooh, Allied ships sunk. We have had 421 different ships sunk for a grand total of 3,460 points. So that's around 8 points a ship or so. Not terrible, not good either. We would want that lower and a lower number of ships, of course. Right now, as far as we know, the Japanese have had 9 ships sunk for 52 points. Let's go see what ships were sunk last turn. It was the Harry Luckenbach, and there's lots of Luckenbachs out there. I don't even know. I should go look up the history of the Luckenbach family. I'm not sure why they had a bunch of ships named after them, but they certainly did, and a lot of them are convertible. Usually and I'm not talking about a Corvette convertible. Usually you can take the Luckenbachs and turn them into tenders for whatever reason. Maybe we'll check that out at some point, and I'll go Google the Luckenbachs. Okay, but we lost 6 points last time. 1 cargo ship in that case. Group reinforcement schedule for our aerocraft. And you can see we've got a long kind of delay here where we don't get any planes for the Allies anyway. It seems like a long delay. 11 days before we get some stuff here, and you can see we've got the F2A2P Buffalo coming into San Diego. These are really training aircraft up here. The Wellingtons. Um, Coming in, C-33 transport planes. The Mitchells into Canberra are interesting. Then we've got a whole lot of sky trains that come into Aden. We'll try to get those up to Ladeau and get even more, freight supply into China with those cargo planes, the C-47s. Some Catalinas coming in, some Bolos, some P-26As into San Francisco. We'll go check all of that out as they come in. Ship availability. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Let's do the old double sort, and up to the top we go. We get the submarine, the drum in at Pearl Harbor in 11 days, AOKV. We get a destroyer out of Cape Town, a British destroyer out there. Those are always very good. What else? Nothing really too exciting, really, for a while. A while. These CLAAs, we've talked about those, like the Atlanta here. I always find these interesting. They're light cruisers that are specifically geared towards anti-aircraft, so they have kind of a big AA load for a light cruiser, certainly. Some more submarines before another month is up. And then you see the illustrious in 38 days. I guess that's kind of the headliner, really. Eventually, the Americans get the Wasp here but that's a little. Oh, we get the Long Island is maybe the next CV type class that we get. The CVE, the escorts, the Long Island. As you can see here, it can carry 16 planes. I mean, it's not nothing. It's not nothing. Um, Where's the Wasp? There it is. 81 days on the Wasp. That comes in at the Panama Canal. That'll be another exciting day. We'll bust the champagne open across the bow. Ground reinforcement schedule. Let's check that out. Um, well, what's exciting here? Of course, the 12th Chinese Corps. That's always exciting. Something new into China there. We get the 9th Marine Regiment. That's certainly exciting. And at San Diego, those Marine regiments, the 9th, the 7th, I think we got the 5th. Those are always very welcome. Really nice to put out on those American bases on the islands in the South Pacific. 70th British Division only has an AV of 49. That's coming in. These British brigades are huge. We get those into the Eastern Army. That Eastern Army is in India. Those are much needed, especially if he's going to try to push on from Rangoon. Eastern Command 26th Indian Division comes in 11 days to Madras. That's also kind of a biggie. That allows us to get the Australians up and out and over to Australia. Some American units here, these 24th SEPs and the 147th SEP infantry, we get those two in San Francisco and Eastern. That's, in like half a month here. So those are all good. Okay. Oh, let's look at did we get another ace? Now, Stanley was kind enough, I think, in Discord to put up a history of our one ace that we had. That's kind of cool because these are based on historical pilots. And I think it was Stone, right? Yeah, CAC Stone, I believe. We've got two others now, though, Carey and Brooks. They're all flying Hurricane 2B Trops. Just an excellent aircraft for us early game, certainly. And the Brits are flying it to great effect, as you can see here. Got a lot of guys at 4 in those 2Bs. The Warhawk here has 1, and this Grover, we've put him into TRACOM to get him training up some other pilots. Okay, let's go check out the map. Let's see what's happening around this map. You get the idea. Abadan, Aden, same stuff going on as always, trying to dump into Karachi. And we've got some submarine activity out here. The two Japanese subs you can see. Why have I got this? Well, they're retreating out from Colombo. I think that's because we saw his carriers moving north. Although this, you can see all of these battle cruisers he's got here. There we go. So there's his Indian Ocean carrier fleet. It is right now docked at Singapore. And so, really, anything we can get in here, we probably should. But these are transports, and really, we want these. Well, they can go to Aden, I guess. That's fine. So, I've got it listed as Aden. It wants to go over here. It's only showing this part of the path, but that will go back up to Aden, where you always need transports, certainly. Um, Anything else in India I wanted to point out? Not really. The big thing that's happening over here is near Pagu and Rangoon. You can see the Japanese with a massive force, as he likes to do, a Japanese super army moving across the river from Molmine here. We'll come to Pagu next and then eventually Rangoon. I doubt there's any way we can hold him off. I just don't see how we would. We've got 535 and Av there, and we've got here at Pagu we've got 374, so all told, a little over 900 in Av, but he's likely to have well over 2,000. And so, we can just cocoon up here in Rangoon and try to cause as many casualties as possible, but that's really all we've got. So out here, no, big things to discuss really. Did I already get the Australians up here? I don't believe I did. When that new division comes in at Madras, the 26th Indian Division, that's in 11 days. Then we'll send up the Australians to Karachi to then go on to Australia from Karachi. There's the 6th Australian Division, 479 on the assault value. We've also got some Australian artillery here at V Town. I thought I had some here, but maybe it's at Calcutta. Is that where the, yeah, that's where the other artillery is. So we'll shoot all that up to Karachi, get it on transports, and get it down to Australia. Um, okay, so that was Rangoon. If we come down, he's taken all of Malaya. He's taken almost all of Sumatra. He's sitting just outside Palembang. What are you going to do? He's just got too much here for us to hold him off. We'll have, try to sit here as long as we can in Palembang, delay, 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 but eventually we'll probably end up with everything at Padang. Gosh dang in Padang. Where were these aircraft destroyed? Well, I believed it was at Surabaya. We had some aircraft there. We got knocked out of there, and now, this is completely surrounded. He's got forces just absolutely swarming here in Java. It's only a matter of time. Now, up here at Bandoang, he's got a force. We only know it's the enemy 3 units. We don't know exactly what he's got there. As you can see, our garrison is 71. Up at Batavia, we've got a garrison of 906, but ultimately, it's just a matter of time. I mean, he's going to have too many forces coming here. We've tried to play the sub game in the shallow just because it's the best place to try to capture. I say capture, but try to come across some of these Japanese transports coming across to Java, but we just haven't had much luck. Now we got this out here. Really, it's time to get these moving on. Put them, someplace like this, or a bottleneck here, or a bottleneck there. That's really where you want your subs. You don't want them in this shallower water. Easy for them to get picked off there. Over at Cape Town, what do we got going on? Well, let's check it out. We've got some tankers that are in here. We've got some destroyers with an AO. We've got some AK, and then we've got the carrier group under the formidable. But I mean, it makes no sense to send him out here to get killed all by himself. So he's just waiting around. We'll get the illustrious. We'll get some more destroyers. We'll get a cruiser or two. We'll try to bundle that all together and maybe pick our spots. But we've already had one British carrier picked off because I was a little loose with it, to be honest with you, sitting up in Bombay thinking, well, he's not going to come up to Bombay. Well, sure enough, he did. So I'm just letting these guys sit at Cape Town in the, short term. Anyway, over into China, I said we would talk more about this and the Japanese super army problem that we're having. We've got units out here where we need them. This is all the 11th war area, I believe. Is that centered in Kunming? It is. I said war area. It's 11th Group Army. 11th Group Army, which is part of 4th War area. And then we have some of the other parts of 4th War area down here, including that's the 35th. There is 4th War area. Now, this is way out of command, but we just don't have another war area to put up here. Now, eventually, maybe we could put the whole 4th War area here and start pressuring down into Indochina, trying to get behind him. I mean, that's ultimately the only way we're going to survive up here is to start fanning out and trying to get behind the Japanese and cut off some supply. Because as you can see, this is bright red. This is going to be a massive Japanese force. We have got a lot of forces over here. At Kuelin, we have, what is that? It's hard to read that number for me. 889. Okay. At Luchao, we've got 835. I mean, so, that's 1600 right there. And then we have another 300 just to boot here at Nanning. So almost 2000 in Nav, and I'm not sure we'll be able to hold him. Down here at Wu Chao, we've got 462. That's pretty nice for just having two, big cores. But these are, nice, good cores. But he's almost certain to lodge us out of this. So what I've started to do, I've got units coming down the road here. We are going to fan out and we're going to try to take every hex behind him. Now, even if he's got stuff at Canton and Hong Kong, he's going to have to come out and deal with them one by one by one, and hopefully we'll be cutting off his supply. Same deal. I'm going to try to fan out in this area, come down, and just make his group in Kukong have to do something instead of just sitting around balling up into super armies. Now, at Changsha, we probably don't have that luxury, but as we moved up by Aicheng, same idea. We need to get out here, get on roads, get on railroads, come up in here instead of, coming back here, although I kind of have to with this group, but get out here, get on the rail. Like this is boxing up on the road here. So you think about where he could possibly have supply coming through right now. Well, it would be down this road, that's blocked. It would be down this road, that's blocked. But somehow he's maintaining a force at Cyan. Are they in good supply? I don't know. I don't know. It seems like they are because he keeps moving them out and they don't look weak at all. So you can see all of the forces I've got moving out here. We're going to fan out all in this area, block as many roads as we can. We also need to get north. These are just points he should not be getting. That's 20 points. This is 20 points. Hami, if he takes it, 60 points. Urimchi is 60 points. Up your Wasu is 20 points. So, I mean, that's a lot of points. We got to start getting units up there because he is just moving down this road and systematically taking these out with little to no opposition. Now, if we get kicked out of Lan Chao, maybe we start moving up that way with this force with the Red Chinese army. Although, I don't know. I mean, he's got a massive force here. If we look at Lan Chao, he's got 283,000 troops, 2,200 guns, and 1,200 AFVs. We aren't stopping that with anything we've got on the map. So, you know, it's a matter of getting out and trying to cut off his supply. I mean, that's it. That's the ball game. Float planes, flock of seagulls. They're here. They're here, and they're doing their business. Even with really low stats, these guys are the best. Their bombing accuracy 7%, but 7%'s been good enough when you're dropping enough bombs. I like it, but he is about to take Kagayan. So people have said, what can we do with these guys? We're not going to be able to get other pilots in here. These guys aren't particularly good. Maybe they can knock out some more things. We can't get them. They're part of Asiatic Fleet. They are float planes, right? So we could try to transfer them down the way. But if you look where we could go, there's no really good place for them to fly into and get out of here. I may just let them keep operating here. I hate to do that. Luckily, they're just pixel men and not real men. Koapang, kind of the linchpin. He's going to be getting there soon over here at Timor. And then it'll just be a matter of time for he maybe comes after Darwin. Out here outside of Perth, we've got all of our shipping coming in as usual. He has run some raids down here, and we also have a lot of surface vessels over here. Let's see where we've got them. Are they in port right now? No. Where are they? Where are my surface vessels? Oh, I think they're up here. They are. You can see we've got a huge, force here. Not that many powerful ships in their own right, but they're all bundled together. 3 cruisers, a lot of light cruisers and destroyers up here, trying to protect the way out to Darwin. But even more than that, trying to catch some kind of Japanese smaller task force out here. As we come around to the south, we've got some things coming back and forth from New Zealand back into Australia. We've got stuff, just coming into Australia from the U.S. West Coast. We'll probably talk more about Australia in an upcoming episode. He's got some APs here coming southwest, but my guess is he's putting in at Moresby. So he's got some, transports there. We've got submarines kind of in the area, trying to disrupt some of that. Again, we just haven't had much luck in doing so. I actually put some American subs up. I was going to say up near Truck. I guess that hasn't happened yet. Yeah, I don't see any American subs up here. Well, they're coming. Um, we're going to get up there and try to disrupt some of his shipping because we haven't had a whole hell of a lot of luck in and around, Papua New Guinea, up into the Dutch areas. We just haven't had much luck. Out in New Zealand, a lot of stuff coming into Auckland. You can see here I've got 23,000 fuel, 175,000 supply. Got a decent number of aircraft here. Auckland, I always is very important to me, usually in a game like this, because as he pressures down, it's like, Auckland, then Australia. It's hard to get by and around these islands. His other Pacific uh, carrier task force has moved back north. It is out of our field of vision at the moment. I don't think we see it anywhere. Now, he's got something up here at Rabal, but I don't think that's his carriers. I think his carriers are moving straight back up, probably up to the home islands, if I had to guess. Out in the South Pacific, same old thing. I've now built up Rarotonga just a little bit, but it's basically, the same old. Suva, Nomaya, Pago. We got hit. This was a destroyer. He's trying to get back into Suva, the Mori, 98 float. Probably not going to make it. We've got some subs that are coming over here. Then you see Rarotonga, Tahiti, kind of my secondary line, and Haiva Oa. That's our secondary line. We've got shipping coming out here, Christmas, Palmyra, got those built up. A lot of stuff we talked about in and around Pearl Harbor. We still have carriers that are in being refitted. And if we show them here, as someone said we got 3 carriers back there now. As someone said in the comments, you don't have to leave these in the shipyard while they're refitting. You can take them out and just go pier side. That's perfectly fine. But you can see here the Lexington 1702 on the anti-aircraft. God, that's beautiful. But we don't need to have those in the shipyard. They can go pier side. Um, Other than that, I think I'm going to leave it there for this time. I know it's kind of a shorter episode, but on March 25th, so coming up in 2 turns, I do a full move around the map and discuss every single counter that we've got. And that stretches over like 3 episodes. So if you're interested in, what I'm doing with each different unit on the map, that'll be for you. This is more just kind of a grand overview of where we stand. How's it going? Lodrick is doing quite well, of course. We're going to fight back, but we are up against it. Every single turn, it's important that we make some progress. Now we're going to continue. He's still ascendant in the Pacific, certainly, and we're going to continue to lose some cargo and whatnot, but we just can't lose anything stupid. And that's the goal. Don't do anything stupid. That's always my goal in life, right? Anyway, this has been Strategy Gaming Dojo. When we come back, we're going to look at the combat resolution for March 21st and 22nd of 1942 and see what was in store for us in that one. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I'll talk to you next time.